The next optional step in our strategic approach to global talent attraction is related to the actual recruitment on a temporary or permanent basis. This slide presents a workflow chart for recruiting academic staff at the University of Copenhagen in Denmark. It lists some of the key milestone processes, such as advertising, shortlisting, assessment, interviewing, recruitment, and onboarding activities. All of these steps are valid for international temporary or permanent recruitments, with maybe slightly longer periods in between applied to global recruitments. Let's now analyze the specific requirements that can be applied to the recruitment of international staff. A typical job posting outlines the position, qualifications, or other requirements and the compensation offered. It should also include information about the application process. While it is key to produce an English language job posting, the related language requirements and expectations, for example with regard to teaching or services delivered in the local language, should be clearly articulated in the vacancy note. Once the job posting has been created, it should be advertised in a variety of channels with global exposure, including international job boards, newspapers, and social media. For example, the Euraccess portal offers an exposure to a broad international audience interested in professional opportunities in Europe. Cascading information about hosting or recruitment opportunities through professional and personal networks remains one of the most effective ways of communication in the academic field. Various international projects implemented by the institution and former international staff or alumni can be used to channel this information to the different target audiences. When it comes to the evaluation stage, it is key to set up a diverse assessment committee, which includes members with an international background or prior experience. This not only facilitates a discussion on possible requirements and expectations, but also demonstrates the value of international profile to the non-local candidates. In the increasingly important green travel context, interviews can be conducted remotely by phone or through video conferencing, considering possible time difference and accessibility of different software. Another important step involves possible checks of the candidate's professional qualifications and academic pathways. In some instances, verifying international qualifications can be a complex task, so universities can fall back on foreign embassies or ministries abroad, as well as national academic recognition information centers, or NARICs in short. This slide features a good practice example of a project-based recruitment approach pursued by the University of Zilina in Slovakia. The university has set up a dedicated unit called the Department of International Research Projects Irradiate Plus, based on the RHA Irradiate project funded under the EU 7th Framework Programme for Research and Innovation. The vacancy note that you can see on this slide was published on the Euraccess website. It highlights the key elements of the value proposition, including a competitive European level salary, the research focus on transportation, smart and green mobility, dynamic multidisciplinary and international working environment, convenient geographic location, and a work-life balance, including possibility of remote work. This example shows how the external project-based funding can be used to develop a unique and attractive job offer targeting top talent from abroad. The sixth step in the strategic approach to global talent attraction is related to welcome and support services. The evidence gained from the Univalis project shows that satisfaction with one's academic stay at a host university abroad can be crucial for the future attraction of international lecturers, researchers, and PhD students from the same country or region. This is largely due to the fact that information visiting recruitment opportunities is still largely spread by word of mouth, as explained earlier in this training course. However, despite the importance of high-quality support, personal information guidance and practical assistance for international academics in Central East and Southeastern Europe still remains insufficient, particularly at the final stage of mobility. This graph derived from the Univelis project evidence shows that only 62 and 60% of the survey respondents reported to have received information, guidance, and personalized assistance, respectively, during their long-term stay at a higher education institution in one of the countries in this region. While the level of satisfaction with the administrative support is pretty high, satisfaction with non-essential mobility services such as support to professional development and training or family assistance is significantly lower. Furthermore, only 1/4 and 1/5 of the respondents reported to have obtained information, guidance, and personalized assistance, respectively, prior to their departure or after their mobility. This finding shows that the potential to stay connected with alumni academics from abroad remains largely untapped in the majority of the interviewed higher education institutions in this region. Setting up a centralized institutional welcome center is an efficient way to provide quality support services to international researchers, lecturers, and PhD students. On this slide, you can see a good practice example of a staff welcome center created at Charles University in the Czech Republic. The center is prominently featured on the university's career website and positions itself as a one-stop shop, ensuring a smooth journey for international academics in terms of their support on various administrative and personal matters related to the recruitment by Charles University. The final step involves a broad range of activities related to the retention of global talent and the engagement with international staff alumni following their stay with or recruitment by a higher education institution. Lately, many universities in Europe have created dedicated alumni programs for international students. However, there is still a lack of structured initiatives run by universities for their broader networks of international academic alumni. Various examples of ad hoc activities include personalized contacts via joint projects or events, short-term stays and email communication, and news updates. Dedicated visiting programs, staff teaching weeks, or regular social activities can be among the measures that support networking and a high level of engagement with a host institution. Further examples of good practice on different types of support and engagement services can be found in the Univelis Explorer, an online repository developed by the Univelis project to provide an inspiration and facilitate the work of higher education managers and support staff, providing assistance to international academics at different levels. You can access the platform by clicking on the link provided on this slide. If you're interested in the topic of support services, you can follow several other training modules developed under the Univelis project to cover the issues such as a strategic approach to welcome services, the use of checklists, and the setup and running of a digital welcome center, among others. These training modules are available on the Univelis project website, which can be accessed by following the same link provided on this slide.